right now on Chronicle in high definition.
Jill always stayed active, but one day after a workout,
my heart rate wouldn't go down.
She discovered what other elite athletes have been surprised to learn.
Extreme degrees of prolonged exercise can be harmful to certain individuals.
Also tonight, Steve Sailing lives with ALS, but he's designed his home to overcome his limits.
All of this technology means that I have a level of independence previously unheard of for people like me.
And using the techniques of plastic surgery to take on the pain of migraines.
There's nothing as satisfying as curing someone's pain.
Medical Journal, next on Chronicle.
Good evening. We all know that daily exercise is good for us. But did you know that too much exercise may be harmful? That's what some very active athletes have found out, much to their surprise. Ted Reinstein has our story.
It's part of my DNA.
World-class rower Fred Schoch comes from a family of elite athletes.
My father was an Olympic oarsman.
Like father, like son. Schoch has won the prestigious Head of the Charles Regatta 5 times. But 3 years ago, this physical superstar suddenly began passing out while rowing. He could barely climb a flight of stairs.
I just felt like it might have been a personal shortcoming, out of breath, not as fit as I should have been.
The reality was that Schoch had developed a heart condition that may have been caused by extreme exercise.
Extreme degrees of prolonged exercise, it turns out there's increasing evidence that that can be harmful to certain individuals.
Cardiologist Dr. Alfred Buxton of Beth Israel Hospital is on the team of doctors who treated Schoch.
There's a bit of a paradox in that we know that exercise is beneficial. At the same time, there are data that show that during exercise, there's a heightened risk of developing abnormal heart rhythms that may lead to a cardiac arrest or sudden death. So there's the question of, well, is exercise good or is it not good?
It's generally agreed among cardiologists that exercising more than 60 minutes a day is extreme. Early research now indicates such activity over a period of years can damage the heart. For example, the athlete's heart on the right is much larger than the non-athlete's heart on the left. And the heart doesn't just get bigger, it literally gets tougher.
Extreme exertion promotes the development of areas of scarring or fibrosis in various parts of the heart muscle that may lead to heart rhythm abnormalities.
One of the more common heart rhythm problems is a rapid irregular heartbeat called atrial fibrillation, or AFib. People involved in high-endurance sports like marathon running, cycling, and rowing are 5 times more likely to develop AFib.
I participated in team sports in high school, and I got to college and rowed all 4 years at Wellesley College and loved that. And then after college, I continued to row.
Jill Dalby Ellison never met a sport or outdoor activity she didn't like. This 40-something mother of 4 is especially fond of wilderness adventures, but only if they're physically challenging.
I've always been athletic. I've always done outdoor activities. To go backpacking, hiking, mountain biking, kayaking, that sort of thing.
3 years ago, Dalby Ellison noticed that something was very different.
So I was mountain biking in Colorado probably, 2 or 3 summers ago, and it was a long day. It was a long, fun day, but I came back from this activity and my heart rate wouldn't go down, and I think I was sweating a little more. And it was, I was a little concerned, but I wasn't. It was regular. I could make an explanation in my head that it was, I was dehydrated, I was tired, I was in altitude.
Eventually, Dalby Ellison was diagnosed with ventricular tachycardia, another type of heart arrhythmia which can also be the result of long-term extreme exercise.
It can happen to anybody. Even the most elite athletes can have this condition. So they don't really know at this point in time, as far as I understand, what causes it.
Just like Fred Schoch, Dalby Ellison underwent a coronary ablation, a relatively simple procedure which corrects heart arrhythmias by destroying problem tissue.
Slam down. Good.
65-year-old Gary Woontyler admits he's never been an exercise fanatic, but as it turns out, his lifelong moderate but steady approach to fitness is exactly what all of us should be doing.
Well, when I was young, I used to
work out all the time, play basketball 2-3 hours on the weekends. And then when I got older, it became a little more challenging. And the fact that my son is a personal trainer, it seemed to make sense for me to start working out with him, which I do now twice a week.
Woon-Tyler is lucky that he's been exercising for many years because doctors are growing increasingly cautious about people suddenly getting involved in exercise later in life after being sedentary for years. Again, there's a risk of heart arrhythmias.
Asymptomatic middle-aged persons can have subclinical asymptomatic coronary disease, and if they suddenly start exercising, especially to a significant degree, that can suddenly make the coronary disease become symptomatic. And in a small percentage of those people, it can manifest itself by developing heart rhythm abnormalities.
I think I'm in the safe range. I admit that I try to push myself. My son tries to push me a little bit more, but I know what to look for, and I think that we're on the right path.
And if you might be an extreme athlete, pay attention to how you feel during and just after your exercise. And if you feel dizzy or lightheaded in a way that you have not felt so before, you should see your doctor, and fairly soon. It could be the sign of an irregular heartbeat. When Steve Sailing was diagnosed with ALS, he found a way to keep his independence.
Welcome to my home.
Susan Warnick brings us the amazing story of how human courage and advanced technology came together.
Snapshots from New England, brought to you by Hunt's Photo and Video and Canon. Here are tonight's snapshots. See more online. Visit WCVB.com Chronicle and upload your photo for a chance to win a Canon DSLR camera, courtesy of Hunt's Photo and Video.
What can you do with your Canon Rebel from Hunt's Photo and Video? Anything you want. It's lightweight, easy to use, and fast. You can capture your life in a snap for a budget-friendly price.
Hunt's Photo and Video, a picture-perfect experience.
This graphic dinner plate was just $4.99 at HomeGoods, and that's where the happy begins.
Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. We're gonna chase all your cares away. Come to HomeGoods, come on, get happy. Find what you love for less today.
My daughter asked me why my teeth look funny.
My wife didn't want to kiss me.
I could barely chew my food.
You know how that feels?
I had to do something.
I called Aspen Dental. They treated my problem.
They treated me like a human being.
To celebrate our grand opening, new patients get a free exam and x-rays. That's a savings of $200 and extended payment options available. Call 1-800-ASPEN Dental.
I didn't just get my smile back.
I got my life back.
Surprising gifts at surprising prices. That's HomeGoods happy.
Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. We're gonna chase all your cares away. Come to HomeGoods, come on, get happy. Find gifts that last for less today.
Closed caption funding provided by Luna.
For a limited time at Luna, get 2 rooms for the price of 1. At Luna, we work for you.
877-241 Luna.
6 years ago, doctors told Steve Sailing he had ALS. Today, he has lost control of his voice and hands, but held on to a way to control his life. Susan Warnick brings us an amazing story of heart, humanity, and technology.
This is a home where doors open magically, curtains close without cords, and the TV seems to work by osmosis. You can even cook a full meal without heat.
You can have your hand on the stove right beside a boiling pot of water, and it will be cool to the touch.
And this is the man who designed it all.
Welcome to my home. By looking, you would never know that this is a nursing home.
6 years ago, Steve Sailing was told he had ALS. His life about to change forever, he took control.
When I was diagnosed, doctors told me to get my affairs in order. I'm sure this isn't what they meant, but I hope you'll agree that my affairs are very well in order.
Very well in order indeed. An accomplished architect, Steve worked with scientists in California, using his expertise to design the technology he'd eventually need to live independently. Using lasers and infrared sensors, he communicates, operates his transportation, and has full control of his environment.
There is a computer in the basement called the automation server that has different kinds of tentacles throughout the building that connect to every door, light, thermostat, and elevator.
People who live in Steve's house can call the elevator without ever having to press a button.
Unfortunately, I can't make the elevator come any faster.
Steve's home is unique in the world, all thanks to his collaboration with Barry Berman from Chelsea Jewish Foundation.
It's about dignity, it's about compassionate care, it's about quality of life.
Steve and Barry met by chance about 5 years ago. Through Steve's technological genius and Barry's devotion, they raised about $2 million in private donations and federal funds to create miracles.
It's the first house in the world to offer chronic ventilation support. So individuals on a respirator, instead of being in a chronic hospital, they're living in this greenhouse where they can be up and dressed and showered and again, have the most meaningful life possible.
The ceiling lift will make easy my transfers when I can no longer stand at all. It will safely and easily carry me from my wheelchair to my bed or the toilet or shower. I even have a remote-controlled bidet to wash and dry my bum so that I maintain that independence. All of this technology means that I have a level of independence previously unheard of for people like me.
The Sailing Residence is part of the Leonard Florence Center for Living in Chelsea, a truly amazing place offering residents everything from kosher gourmet meals to spa services.
That's the way you like it. Whatever you want. I don't want to change anything on you.
Delivered at every level by an immeasurably compassionate staff.
Everywhere you look, there's another success story in every single room with every single resident.
Steve shares his home with 9 other ALS patients. Patrick O'Brien moved here from a hospital in Baltimore.
It takes a village, truthfully. This house is like no other, while one could eye gaze on and on about the care here. It's so flawless.
Steve's house is the model for 2 more in development in the United States. One is for former Saints football player Steve Gleason, who was recently diagnosed with ALS. It's expected to open in about a year.
It is truly a home in every way, and my tremendous honor to live here. Thank you for visiting, and I hope that you won't be a stranger.
And Steve is now working to market his system to other healthcare facilities and eventually directly to the consumer. He hopes that system will someday revolutionize mobility for the severely disabled. It is a pain most of us can only imagine, the pain of migraines.
I couldn't get up off the couch. I couldn't do anything.
Now a revolutionary new technique is bringing some patients relief.
Well, it's that time of year again. Time to get a holiday deal on a Ram truck. A truck that will pretty much haul anything. With a legendary Hemi engine and proven durability that goes the distance. And while most families bring their tree to the house, Ram families bring their house to the tree. Get a great deal at the Ram Big Finish event.
Trade in your pickup truck and get $8,200 in total values on the 2012 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4.
Do you want me to do that drum roll thing? Are you sure everything's plugged in?
Get in the holiday spirit. Select tickets and Sox packs are on sale now. Visit redsox.com/holidays for tickets, giveaways, and more videos.
Things are looking brighter already.
Every night you recharge your phone, your tablet. Don't you think it's time that you recharge yourself?
Beautyrest developed a new technology, the Recharge Sleep System. It's a mattress made specifically to recharge the human body. It delivers the comfort you want and the support your body needs to recharge. And right now, buy any Beautyrest Recharge system and save up to $400 and get up to 5 years to pay with no interest. Beautyrest Recharge. Now you can live your life fully charged.
Come see what he got me for Christmas. Okay. A new computer.
Without the right service, your new computer won't seem so new.
And I got a new tablet. Okay, honey, don't show off.
So choose Xfinity from Comcast. With the fastest internet and now the fastest in-home Wi-Fi. Switch to the Xfinity Triple Play for $79.99 a month for 12 months and get $150 back. Plus, there's no term contract required. Make a good gift an awesome gift with Xfinity. Available only at Comcast.com/no contract.
The holidays can be challenging for children in need.
Please donate a new unwrapped gift or gift card to the Home for Little Wanderers Big Wishes gift drive.
Stop by our toy room or Coldwell Banker office or Bernie and Phil's near you to donate.
It was discovered by accident. More than a decade ago, a plastic surgeon noticed that patients who had eyebrow and forehead lifts reported that their migraine headaches disappeared. Heather Unu says the result is a treatment that is bringing relief to some long-pained patients.
Which version? Danger one? Okay.
Jannelle Chiaffi is a full-time mother and a full-time employee. 3 years ago, it became nearly impossible for her to do either of those jobs. The reason? The sudden onset of constant and severe migraine headaches.
They started December 26, 2009. I know that because we ended up in the emergency room the day after Christmas. And they didn't know what was wrong. And that was the first time that it was just, I couldn't get up off the couch. I couldn't do anything.
Within a month, Jannelle was under the care of a top neurologist who prescribed several remedies.
Change my diet, go off caffeine, go off chocolate, don't eat processed foods, eat healthy, better sleep patterns. I tried everything.
She was also prescribed a number of drugs, including painkillers and antidepressants.
I didn't like the way the antidepressants worked. I mean, if I forgot to take it, the headache was worse. Pain pills would take the edge off, but it would never make the headache go away. And then I would just live in a fog. And I didn't like, with 3 kids, you can't live in a fog like that.
Months later, Jannelle heard about a new treatment for migraines available at Mass General Hospital. Dr. Jay Austin was using plastic surgery techniques on patients with severe migraines for whom other remedies had failed.
What we're finding is that the nerves around their face or neck are being irritated, compressed, or stimulated in some way to instigate these events. And once we can show that those triggers are involved and that if we block those triggers, their migraines go away, then we consider either decompressing or removing those nerves.
Patients typically have 2 surgeries, one at the base of the neck, the other around the forehead. Stacy Sachs of Florida had her first surgery a year ago, and her migraines went from 15 a month to just 3.
You've been pretty happy with your results.
I've been thrilled. Dr. Austin is like a miracle worker.
Now, Stacy is back for her second procedure.
Dr. Austin is zeroing in on a nerve he thinks is critical here.
Almost certainly a migraine trigger.
The nerve is being sandwiched by a fascial plane. So it's a tight, leathery band of tissue that's compressing the nerve right on the muscle.
6 months after Operation 2, Stacy reports from Florida she is basically migraine-free.
It has changed my life completely.
As for Jannelle Chiaffi, she had her second surgery in late October.
The second surgery was a little tougher because it's your face. They did incisions on the top of each eyelid, and they went in and they released the nerves here, and they severed this nerve here. The muscles here are similar to what they do for like a forehead lift, so I'm now wrinkle-free. I look like I went 10 rounds with somebody. I mean, the bruises were unbelievable.
But so was the relief from oppressive pain.
Totally gone. Totally went away. I haven't had to take Motrin, Advil, Tylenol since October 24th. It gave me my life back. You know, my kids say I'm not grumpy anymore. My husband says I'm not as grumpy either.
Dr. Austin says that even though the procedure has been around for over a decade, it wasn't until a year ago that insurance companies began to cover it. He says he expects to do many more of these operations in the future.
There's nothing as satisfying as curing someone's pain. And these patients are extremely pleased and happy, and you feel great for them when they get better.
Remarkable. Surgery, of course, one way to deal with migraine headaches, but researchers continue to look for less invasive techniques as well. One approach involves patients finding relief by capturing their pain on paper.
I oftentimes see spikes, bright colors, oranges and reds, sometimes black.
Migraine headaches, debilitating and isolating. They affect 36 million Americans.
The migraine is more than a headache. It's a headache that's on one side of your head, and it throbs, and it gets worse if you move or exert yourself, thus the lying down in bed in the dark room. There are so many patients.
Dr. Carolyn Bernstein is a neurologist and migraine expert who runs the Beth Israel Deaconess Comprehensive Headache Center in Brookline. Here, migraine sufferers, or migraineurs as they are known, learn to manage their pain.
I'm very interested in treatments that don't necessarily involve taking a lot of medications because they all have side effects and there are limitations as there are with anything. We do offer acupuncture here at the Headache Center. We did a spin class, which was amazing. There has been some research that show that people who exercise tend to have fewer headaches. And today we're piloting art therapy workshops so that people who have migraines can really try to find some ways to express the pain, help them understand it, maybe give them some tools to help cope with it.
Julianne Hertz is both an art therapist and patient who wanted to share the relief she experiences when doing artwork.
There are endorphins that are being released in the brain. There's also dopamine being released in the brain. Both of those are pleasure chemicals that help.
Helpful, too, is the camaraderie of a group activity. Here, patients illustrate their own particular symptoms.
And so we'll work with this for a while and then see if there's a way that they can change it in a helpful way. And then we'll end the group doing mandalas. That's an effective stress reduction technique.
So who gets migraines? Is it mostly women or men or both?
They're more common in women than men. The ratio is about 3 to 1. It may be a little bit greater in terms of women.
So what causes this massive upset in the brain?
Migraines are caused by what's called depolarization. And what that means is cells beginning to fire and trigger and get each other excited that moves through the brain and then sets off nerves that control pain, nausea, vomiting, the other symptoms. People will have very specific symptoms before they even start to feel the pain. So they may feel thirsty, they may have certain kinds of food cravings, their muscles may ache, some people get a teary eye on one side or the other, their nose will start to run, and all of that can be a warning sign that someone is about to get a migraine.
Are there things people can do to mitigate the severity of a migraine or even stop them altogether if they know they're coming on?
Migraine sufferers are amazing. They become what's called hypervigilant, so they begin to try to recognize what their own triggers are. However, the tough thing is, even in a perfect world, you're still going to get a migraine if you are a migraine sufferer. There's no absolute way to prevent them entirely.
Dr. Bernstein says it's important for patients to keep a headache journal. That can help doctors then devise a treatment plan for them. In fact, there are now tracking devices for tablets, iPhones, etc. So the patients now actually come in with a comprehensive record of their migraine episodes. And we will be right back.
At Chevy's year-end event, we have 11 vehicles that offer an EPA estimated 30 mpg highway or better.
Yeah? Hey.
Hey.
Where's your suit?
Oh, it's Casual Friday.
Chevy's giving more.
This holiday season, get a 2013 Malibu LS for around $189 per month or get $1,000 holiday bonus cash.
Critics are raving about Boston Ballet and Mikko Nissinen's brand new production of The Nutcracker. Magical, glamorous, the dancing shines. See it for the first time at the Boston Opera House through December 30th. Purchase your tickets now. Visit bostonballet.org today, presented by State Street Corporation.
This season, it's not the thought, it's the thanks. Get everyone on your list holiday tickets from the Massachusetts State Lottery. Available at a retailer near you.
Connoisseurs of flavor, experts in aroma. They're the World Championship cheese judges. And while they might seem kind of odd to you, like this guy, we just love them. And at the 2012 championship, they awarded Cracker Barrel Gold for Cheddar for its rich, full flavor. Thanks, cheese geniuses. Cracker Barrel, it's cheddar perfected.
Being a banker is about more than being a banker. It's about being a cook, a packer, a sorter, a delivery guy, and a good citizen. We're citizens helping citizens, and right now, we need your help. Join us in feeding the hungry in Massachusetts. We're donating 100,000 meals to the Greater Boston Food Bank. Help us double it. Make a donation today.
Welcome to Toyotathon, biggest sales event of the year. I'm Jan. How can I help?
We're looking for something exciting.
Dependable. Look around. Everything exciting is dependable, too.
Dependable and exciting.
Is he okay?
It's just sinking in. He's almost back. I call this me time. I love it.
Lease an all-wheel drive RAV4, now just $169 a month. Or get 0 for 60 financing on an all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyotathon is on, the one event you don't want to miss.
Earlier in our program, we talked about the problems of too much exercise. So we have a conversation going on our Facebook page asking you, how much exercise do you think is, in fact, too much exercise? Join that conversation at facebook.com/Chronicle5. And on Friday, join us for the incredible story of the Ghost Army. Local filmmaker Rick Beyer previews his documentary profiling a secret army unit that practiced the art of deception in World War II. It's a story that actually went untold for 40 years, and you can see it on Friday's program on Chronicle. That's Chronicle for tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Anthony Everett. Have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Next Chronicle, keeping kids on track by getting them involved.
Real-world life lessons.
Local groups breaking through to students.
Every single hour, I would say there's some little bit of success that I see.
Improving futures, improving lives. Chronicle tomorrow.